Jets Ward.
Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you, but first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. It is a great place to be because you guys keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, NFL draft coming up less than a month away, and I'm getting so pumped to see what my New York Jets can do. And it's getting to be more and more like we know who the first 5 picks are going to be in the draft, mainly the first 2, 3. Jeremiah Love is getting some more love from the Titans, so he could be the pick at 4. Giants are an interesting one with Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, who would they go with? Maybe a Carnell Tate. We'll still eat that one. But we know the Jets most likely are going to go defensive player at the pick 2. And most likely, from what I've seen from mock drafts from NFL analysts and specialists, it's going to be Arvell Reese. And the great thing about Arvell Reese is he's a very versatile player. I think he could be a solid edge rusher in the NFL. I think he's a better off-ball linebacker. You can bounce him around everywhere. And I know people are going to say that he doesn't have the edge rushing talent like a Bailey or a Ruben Bain or somebody like that. But I think you can just do so much with Arvell Reese. And he could be an electric player for you. But pick 16. That is a big question mark at this time with the New York Jets. There's so many ways they can go. And we're all looking here and talking in Jets community. We're all looking at this and being like, that should be an offensive player. That should be a wide receiver, a Kenyon Sadiq if he's there, an offensive lineman. We're all looking at offense. But why not try to double up on defense? Aaron Glenn wants to fix this defense really quick. And we've made some solid moves in the offseason, bringing Demario Davis back on a 2-year deal. Veteran leader on the defensive side as a middle linebacker. Going to help that team so much. Trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick to be our safety. That's going to help. Bringing Andre Sisco back. Bringing in Dane Belton. Bringing in all these different players. Joseph Asai from the Bengals as an edge rusher who we're going to play as an outside linebacker in a 3-4. It's looking like. We also got Enigbare from the Packers who could play that similar role or down on the line too. We still have Will McDonald. We've traded for Tavondre Sweat, that big defensive tackle that we have. And we still have Juwan Briggs, Harrison as well. Harrison Phillips, sorry. But what happens if we double dip on defense? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And let's say one of the younger players in this draft who, let's face it, probably one of the best run defenders in this draft too, falls. That biggest issue with the Jets defense last year, other than not getting an interception, was stopping the run. And let's say a player like Keldric Faulk from Auburn falls to pick 16. And Kenyon Sadiq is gone. Carnell Tate's gone. Mekhi Lemon's gone. Jordan Tyson goes before. And Keldric Faulk is sitting right there. I think it would be pretty hard to pass on him. The guy came into the NFL Combine, measured in at 6'6", 276 pounds. At Auburn, he was measured at 2'6", 285. So a little different at the Combine, but he's only 21 years old. He had a total of 29 tackles last year, 23 solo tackles, 2 sacks, no forced fumbles, no interceptions, but 4 passes defended. And you're going to look at those numbers and be like, that's not impressive. That's not really impressive. But he was a monster in the run game. People couldn't move him out of the way. Yes, his pass rush repertoire needs to get better. But you take that size and power that this kid has, and he can dominate on the defensive line, especially if you're putting him next to a Tavondre Sweat, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, all these different guys that the Jets already have on defense. And then you have Arvell Reese coming in from behind him, and Demario Davis and Jamie Sherwood and players like that. Keldric Faulk has a ton of upside. And I know the numbers aren't there. The numbers aren't great. But the athletic ability of this kid, the strength, the power, the initial hit that he puts on players, you can bump him in. He's played nose tackle before. He's played on the 5 tech. He's played the 3 tech. He's bounced around the defensive line all over the place because of his size and how athletic he is and how strong he is. He brings a lot of versatility to that defensive line. And to me, he is a 3-down defensive lineman. And I think he fits the 3-4 system that the Jets presumably are going to be running, and working with Carl Dunbar too, who's made wonders with defensive players like TJ Watt over in Pittsburgh. Look at what he's become thanks to Carl Dunbar. I think Arvell Reese can take that jump too, but I think Keldric Faulk would take a big benefit from working with him as well. And just imagine having 2 dominant forces on that defense at such a young age that you can hone their craft, keep them, get them to improve. You can't teach size and power, but you can teach fundamentals. You can teach pass rush repertoire. He is a dominant figure in the run game. He will make our defensive line formidable. But if you can unlock that pass rush that he could do, a lot of people expect him to become a better pass rusher in the NFL. This kid could be a force to be reckoned with. He's rising up draft boards. I don't even know if he makes it to pick 16. I could see him going to Baltimore. I could see him going to the Chiefs. I could see him going to a couple of different teams, Miami maybe. But Keldric Faulk, I think if he's at pick 16, and some of your other players, like I said, a Kenyon Sadiq, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, are off the board, it's going to be tough with Jordan Tyson. Maybe he goes ahead too. I wouldn't be opposed to double dipping on the defensive side, especially if we have Arvell Reese playing that multi role as an edge rusher / linebacker, outside linebacker, and we have Keldric Faulk down on the defensive line. I think he brings a nastiness. He has a high motor. He never gives up on plays. The problem with him, too, is with how big he is, he tends to play a little high and rely more on his strength, which solid offensive linemen can get up under him and move him. Not far, but they can. So staying low, pad level has to remain low. He has to hone his craft as a pass rusher. But I think he's a Aaron Glenn type of defensive player, a guy who never gives up. If you see the signings we have, those are all players, Joseph Asai mainly and Enagbare. They have a high motor that constantly runs. That's Keldric Faulk. And he's still only 21. You can help groom him to become a more dominant pass rusher in this league. And if he gets that, with that size and that power, you build more muscle on him too, he can be an imposing figure on the defensive line. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Would you be willing to double dip on defense in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft? I know it's not a lot of fans' favorite tactic, but there are still a lot of solid receivers you can get in the second round. You can get Elijah Surratt. You can get a Jacoby Lane from USC. You can get, if Casey Concepcion falls to the second round at pick 33, you can get him there. He's a solid slot receiver and great kickoff and punt returner. There's options at wide receiver that the Jets can go with. Keldric Faulk, I think, could be a monster on the defensive line and fits the 3-4 defense very, very well. And if you move to a forefront, you can shift him into defensive tackle, and I think he'd still be dominant there. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinions on this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos, just so you stay updated on what's going on in the Jets world. Also, make sure you follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok. I try to post all my videos and shorts there as well. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you. I love you guys. And thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.